Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Two Hands in a Radio. Today a really special edition, a Grundig edition of Two Hands in a Radio. We are going to look at the Eton FIELD BT, BT stands for Bluetooth, Grundig edition, or maybe it's Eton Grundig edition FIELD BT. I don't know. Too many names to all this. This comes to us from Amazon. It's been $99.99, I think, for a long time. Got an email the other day, and it was on sale for $79.99, $20 off. I think it still is. I checked just before I left to make this video, and it was still $79.99. Be a good time if you want to get one. It'd be a good time to grab it. I've learned to check Amazon almost daily. If you're interested in something, I think Amazon watches what you look at and search for, and then all of a sudden it'll be, oh, here's a special on something. Oh, good. And I don't know if that's true or not. It's still on sale, so I'm sure they weren't just looking at me. But anyway, I digress with all the Big Brother stuff. This is $20 off. It's kind of like the Eton Mini, where it was, $44 to $35, and then $24 for a day, and back up and bounces around. The prices just bounce almost daily. Anyway, we're not here to talk about Amazon. What a great little, it's not little, it's a desktop radio, that's for sure. Lunchbox style, I guess, I think they call it. It's 12.4 inches across, 6.9 inches tall, 3 inches thick, and you can see the thick. I have to use the turntable on this one. 3 inches thick, 47-inch antenna. Holy cow, this thing is a monster. Like I said, it's got Bluetooth, and we might want to look at the Bluetooth function first just to get that out of the way. It's got an interesting speaker configuration. As you can see over here, all kind of stuff going on. It's got I didn't measure it, but it looks almost like a 2-inch round speaker that acts as a tweeter for the highs are coming out this way. Then it takes sound and turns it around, and this is a big baffle that's in here. The sound goes in there and is ported down into another opening right here, down in the bottom. So the bass comes out here, the tweeter's here, and the sound's going around. Almost reminds me of like a Bose something where they twist in all kind of cavernous turns and twists to get a better sound. So it's very interesting setup on their sound. Let's see, what else do we have here? It's continuous coverage. 17.11 megahertz up to 29.999 megahertz. Now it does, when you do an automatic search, it'll search just inside the international shortwave bands. There's gaps and things in between there, but when you can manually tune, you can go through the whole thing yourself. Kind of interesting. Gosh, it's a lot to cover in a short amount of time on this guy. This is amazing. We've got our bandwidth. We've got an AM, a narrow and wide bandwidth, Bluetooth function, FM function, all in the big switch that goes clunk, which is kind of cool. Then down below that we have another switch, medium wave, and it breaks down the shortwave into three sections. Shortwave 1 goes from 22 to 10 megahertz. Shortwave 2 goes from 9.99, it backs up just a touch, 10 megahertz to 20, and then shortwave 3 goes 19.990 to 29.999. So breaks that down into three usable chunks then, make it a little easier. Volume knob, RF gain, we're going to leave it up at max just for our entertainment today. Weaker stations, you want it turned up a little higher. If you get a really strong station, really starts to overload things, you can turn that RF gain down. and helps out there. Bass and treble, fantastic audio control. That's nice. Tuning wheel. It's a dual thing here that you can fast tune. Is the back knob here. I don't know if you can see this very well or not. The back knob is a fast tune and then a fine tune of the front knob here. It's really kind of a, it's not smooth. I mean, it's smooth, but I don't know, it's hard to explain the gear reduction that's going on in this, that it's almost tight. It's smooth turning, but it's kind of tight. And I've done some reading on that, and the older field models, I guess they actually had some goop inside here to slow that tuning wheel down so it didn't spin so fast. Well, now I guess the goop is gone, but they've figured out how to slow it down, and I don't know if I'm a gigantic fan of that. Got to be careful with that. Especially this outer knob. With this outer knob, you start really whipping around on it. I'm a little concerned that something might break or let go. You have to use some caution with that. Care with it, I guess. Not caution, just care. Anyway, huge on-off button. That's also your sleep timer. It'll go like 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10, 15, 30, 45, 60, 90 minutes. You just keep pressing the button and it goes. It does have RDS on it. You can see the little symbol there. I don't know how well you can see it today with the sunshine. It's an interesting display because like the Mini and the Traveler 3, the display, you almost couldn't see it in the daylight. And this takes on a different look. It's inside the house, it's orange with a black background. Orange letters, black background, but then out here, the background's kind of a blue, and the lettering's almost a gray look. It takes on a different look, kind of interesting. Does have 2 timers with it, timer A, timer B. Oh, I'm so excited with alarms. T-sets, also your display button. We've got some multifunction buttons going on here. It's also a display button, your Q-tune, which is going to be quick tune. Very, very handy. And we'll show that later on. You can also toggle the brightness of the screen. Q-tune will really, really save your backside. The alarm, we love alarms. Presets. This doesn't have an automatic tuning search where it finds a station and puts it in a memory slot for you to go back and review. This just finds the next frequency, and it's up to you to decide what to do. All you have to do is hit the preset button and it will save it in memory. Not that big a deal, really. Got a nice wrist strap on the top. Ooh, did I say a nice wrist strap? Actually, it lived up to my dislike of wrist straps, because this is all folded up on the inside, and it's a long, I mean, I suppose it'd be shoulder, almost throw this over your shoulder, and it's all folded up in here. Well, I picked it up, had it like this by my side, and all of a sudden all that started to unfold inside, and the radio started going at a rapid pace toward the ground and made me really nervous. And so I've got it all folded back up in there, and I think it's a little more secure, but you really want to, carrying it like this, you'd want to really use some caution with it. I don't trust it. You can even remove this if you want, and that may be where I go later on. This is going to be on the desktop most of the time. I can't see it traveling around much. It's just that big. Got a nice size display here. Everything is like the Eton Mini and the Traveler 3 and the Executive Traveler, great big long name. It's all like that, only everything's just bigger. And it's got more stuff too. On the right hand side, we have an antenna switch, internal and external antenna. We can get to that when we flip to the back side. DX local switch, backlight. You can turn the display on all the time. I don't know if we're going to see any difference You see absolutely no difference when I turn it on or off. We have a line out, which is very handy because we can hook up, I would hook up a cassette player. The owner's manual says you could hook up an external speaker, cassette player, whatever, digital recorder. You could hook the line out to that. The line in is if you had a cassette player or MP3 player that didn't have Bluetooth or something, you could hook into your line in and play it through the speaker on the radio. Stereo headphones, I have heard that it is absolutely phenomenal on the headphone. Haven't tried it out. It does come with a DC adapter, and that was in the packaging. Oh, and the packaging, it was amazing. The way it was all packed, it was just extraordinary. So on the back side, even more to cover. We got the 47-inch antenna. It's interesting that the antenna is placed where it is because you can't lay the radio down flat. I mean, you can, but you're always going to sit on this antenna, and that kind of makes me nervous. But I don't think it's really designed to lay down flat either, with all the... You've got some vents back here for bass enhancement, so I don't think it's really designed to lay flat. But we also have FM external antenna. We have our medium wave external antenna. We have a shortwave external antenna. These use F-type connectors. Don't know why. I think that's a little strange. To me it is. But you can hook up external antennas to this. And I haven't tried it out, but I'm sure it really gets interesting. We've got a battery door back here, and it takes 4 D batteries. And our D batteries, 2 on top, 2 on bottom. The 2 on top, the positive goes to the left. The 2 on the bottom, the positive goes to the right. Pretty easy battery configuration, considering some of them get pretty weird. Nothing on the left-hand side at all. And we're back around to the front. It does have, on the bottom, it has some really nice heavy-duty rubber pads that it sits on. It sits very sturdy. You're not going to tip this over very easy at all. And I think we're just about ready to take a look. We might want to, well, let's do the Bluetooth thing first. And all you do, you set your switch to Bluetooth. And let's see if, now you're asking me to operate a telephone. Telephone, do we ever call telephones anymore? Oh, I hate phones. Discard. There, just bear with me here. Okay, so it says it's there. And what you can do with this is I have some music from the YouTube library. Supposedly, this song is called The Closing of Summer. Whoopity-doo, here we go, and we'll try to volume up here and see if we hear anything. There you go. I'll be dipped. It actually worked. And let's see if there's another song. There's your bass and treble then. Wherever you like that at. I wonder if it would help if I turn the volume up on the phone. Oh yeah, I can control it with that. You can tell I don't mess with this stuff at all on phones. Anyway, I digress. Let's turn that off before something happens or somebody calls or does something weird. So that was in Bluetooth. That's kind of interesting. I suppose to somebody it's going to be interesting. To me, I don't care. Let's see. Let's go over just two more things, and then we'll start looking around the radio itself. I did read in the manual that it's an FM stereo button someplace on the side here. Someplace is FM stereo. Oh, mono and stereo. On your timer B, it's also mono and stereo. And it said in the FM mode, it only works in stereo with headphones. But it said without headphones, leave it in the mono mode because you get better signal noise ratio as well as anti-multiplex interface. No idea what in the hell I just read, but it says to keep it in mono when you're using this speaker, whatever that means. And I guess this is also, the tuning wheel is also called some kind of a gear reduction something or another. So anyway, but we're going to hit the highlights of things. I wanted to see particularly, you can see how hard it is to, boy, it cranks around, and I wanted to see with the quick tune on medium wave where it goes. So on quick tune in medium wave it goes by 100, and on short wave it'll go by 1,000, so it helps you get a little closer to wherever you're going. Okay, well that's cool. There's WLW in Cincinnati.
You know, this came down to sort of dollars and cents, and you know, the key to Blink 2 is also keeping it dense. You know.
And it's got a little signal noise, the signal meter up here. Kind of cool. Okay, so I hit and you hold the up button down and it'll search for the next thing. Might not be a bad thing to do. It's not doing all bad out here. It's, I don't know what time it is. It's probably after 11 o'clock, I suppose. I wonder if 11:14. So I guess it's about 11:14. It's later than I thought. South Central Indiana.
My nose isn't.
Actually, it does a lot better than I really anticipated. Let's just go ahead and do the search. Should stop at 10:10. It just keeps going. There's our local station. And it does have a mute on tuning. You can hear that. You can hear that mute that we all absolutely despise. And I think we're all just going to have to get used to it. I don't see anybody really changing that. Wish they would.
We know that false accusations.
Let's go up to, let's just look for the next one here. 13.9, that's Seymour. Don't want to hover on music. We can go wide, narrow, wide frequency, whichever you want to do. Oh, this thing is so cool. This is outrageous. I love it. I just love it. I just love radio. What am I saying? I love this. I love radios. That's all there is to it. We can go over to FM. Hopefully we got not in BT mode. And there's our music limit for the day. Let's see if we can. I don't want you to search anything. Quick tune on FM just goes 0.1 megahertz, I guess that is, at a time. Goes really slow. Oh no, I'm not quick tune. I'm doing the thing. Too many things to think about. That's what the problem is. Hold two hands has too many things to think about. If 5, 6, 7. Here's where I wanted to go. Was
work with President Trump approach to being.
But Daddy worked no.
unbelievable audio. The audio on this thing is, I think it's on par with my GE Super Radio 2. Maybe not as good, but it's just stellar audio. That's all there is to it. All that FM didn't even have the antenna up. It's just, it's okay. So now, let's move into the fun part that we're all waiting for, is the shortwave stuff. And let's get our little antenna up here, all 47 inches of, here we go. I've got the sloper antenna out here, and it's interesting that 47 inches and that 20 foot, they looks all about the same to me. It's just interesting. But let's, and you've got to go back over to medium wave then, or AM, for your short wave. Because that's what shortwave is, AM. And there, right out of the gate, is our 10 megahertz WWV. And let's just see what's out here, because it starts at, we'll call it 2250, I think is where it starts, something like that. So let's just see. We're going to have everything above 10 megahertz or so is going to be really good. You can already tell 10 megahertz is coming in nice. That's during the day. Everything below 10 megahertz at night will get better reception. Hopefully I said that right this time. I think there's one video that I said it backwards. I say it so much that I don't even think about it, and then when I don't think about it, I make mistakes. But that's, that's me. What I do want to find out is, if we come back down here real quick, you can see that you've really got to turn a lot. The tuning wheel is probably not my most favorite thing on this. Of course, there's no direct entry keypad. There's also no single sideband for anybody that's, I think a lot of people feel like every radio's got to have single sideband for some reason. I just wanted to see, did the mute on, see now I would stop on that, and that, the auto search didn't pick that up. It just slipped right over it. For the sake of time on this video, I almost have to use some kind of an automatic search. Just because the only other way to really do it is you're going to sit here and you're going to go like this, and everybody's head's going to hit the keyboard by the time we go through all that. And that's the only reason I don't. Now at home, believe it or not, this is how I roll through it, or I'll, we'll go through like this with a tuning wheel. You can, let's see, also tuning step here on timer A is also tuning step. You can go fast, slow, or stop and disable this wheel altogether. And so in fast, both wheels, you're gonna zip around fairly quickly. Anyway, let's continue our search. See where we're going. Interesting little radio, that's for sure.
The people in the middle who are marketing the ticket. I think the band might be.
I think that's out of Canada, I think.
To be trying to get in front of a scientist.
I think. Don't quote me, I'm not sure. It's like 1010 out of Canada, and then they have a shortwave broadcast of it. I don't know. There again, no, don't quote me on it. And this will go up, like I said, shortwave 1 will go up to about 10 megahertz.
Difference to the part of the story that I'm
About 10, and then we'll move on up from there. Go to shortwave 2 then. I'm just curious if it stopped. Okay, it stopped. Now, if you wanted to see how with the quick tune you can go around, like if I wanted to go to 9395, you could quick tune to 9000 and then just fairly quickly 9395. I just wanted to see because it skipped over. See, it skipped over that in the search. Turn it to wide. See how that RF gain, you can turn that station all the way off if you wanted to. That's why I leave it open. Fairly open. Interesting. So it won't pick out weak stations in the auto search. But it definitely pulls. And here again, you can hit the preset button and you could set that to memory if you wanted to. But we're just going to keep right on going. It definitely doing pretty good, that's for sure. I wonder, I'm just curious, if I hook the big antenna up, if it does any difference at all. Not really. Not a lot of difference, really. Okay, we'll keep going. And then from there you can fine tune it. And what we can do is we can go tuning step slow, and then we can fine tune if we've got to fine tune. I don't know if you can see that display or not. There's 12. Well, let's keep going just to see what happens here.
Donc, ils savent comment. Un esprit ouvert.
Wow. This is just on the telescopic antenna alone. No big antenna hooked up to it. Golly. This thing is absolutely insane. And we've seen that it skips some of the weaker stations. It even skips. Well, there's 15. See, it skipped over 15 even. So the auto search function's not the greatest on earth, and it's still finding a lot of stuff. Absolutely insane. And with me, I'm happy with that. I mean, that, to me, that tickles me. Well, you can hear me. That tickles me this way. Okay, so it skips over something. That's okay. And it's all right. This definitely, you can hear that this is definitely a program listener. If you have, Voice of the Report of the Week, Glenn Hauser Radio, or I'm trying to think of other programs, Radio Slovakia, Voice of Vietnam, those kind of programs where you just turn it on and listen. This would just be perfect for that.
they needed water.
And I think this goes up, oh, I don't know, whatever my note says, upwards around, what am I doing? Oh, I'm hitting the wrong button.
ذلك بأنه كانت تأتيهم رسلهم.
Okay, I think I just preset that. Oh well. Not looking at the button I was trying to push. I think it goes up about 19.9 maybe, 20 megahertz. And then we can go to band number 3. And that starts back over. That's the one thing, you can set it and it'll just cycle through, you know, go through each band 1, 2, or 3 and then start over. Kind of cool. Probably won't find much up in through here, I don't think. Of course, it's just the international band. We can get out. We can get outside of that if we want. And I'm trying to think what's the CB stuff. Is it 27 something? Or 28? Maybe it's 28 something. I don't listen to it that often. But you can see where the mute-on tuning really slows you down. Of course, something's got to be out there to grab a hold of. So what I want to do now, just for giggles, so I want to drop this down, and I want to hook the sloper antenna up to it, because I know there's a lot of people that want to see what this will do with the big antenna hooked up, and kind of an interesting configuration, because that's so tall that you almost can bring it up. Can almost bring it up, kind of an H shape. Let me keep doing that. Let me knock over the phone. Let's leave it where it ought to want to be at, and go just like that. Say that's close enough. Anyway, I was just curious. We'll hook up the big antenna, just see if it does anything different. Let's go back to. There's 15. We've already heard that. There's 10. There's no real difference. But we'll start out in shortwave 2 and just hit the button and see if it finds anything else. A lot of strong stations out there.
الأوروبيون في نقاشاتهم على مكافحة الاتجار غير المشروع بالبشر ومقترحات المفاوضات الأوروبية بشأن عودة المهاجرين.
You can see the S meter there, S3 and S4, and if I disconnect it, it goes down to an S1. So I'm doing some kind of good with that. Man, alrighty. So there's your difference of how much a good antenna, well, not good, but more of an antenna will do. You remember this when there's with no antenna. Not all bad, but it does help. This thing had really come to life with a large antenna hooked up in the back through the F connectors. That would really be kicked up. Yeah, we'll just keep going here just for a bit. If everybody's not bored to death, we'll just keep going here for a little bit. Now see there, you see the S meter pop, but it never stopped on anything. It just kind of popped. And I wonder if there wasn't something there. That's what it jumped on. The S meter jumped right there, but there really wasn't anything there. It was just static, so that's okay. My land, this is just outrageous. I don't know, down the first band, there's probably not going to be much. Now see, 9395 was. Let's just back up a bit. No, it still didn't stop on 9395. But it sounds better with the big antenna hooked up than without, that's for sure. Let's just go up to 10 megahertz and then we'll stop the madness. You can tell I'm having fun playing with this thing. This radio is amazing. That's all there is to it. This is absolutely amazing. And there's 10 megahertz, kind of where we started all this melee. Oh, and on FM, everybody likes the RDS stuff. See if, oh, I don't have, oh, I know what I can do. Okay, come on. Why aren't you tuning? Okay. What did I just do here? Oh, lock. Oh, I locked the thing. Oh. Okay. Thanks for that. It had a little symbol up there that said key lock. I must have held something down too long. What I wanted to see without volume, I just wanted to see the RDS stuff, because I know people are interested in that. No data. Oh, the key lock, soft rock. Something, no RT, no data, soft rock, and it gives you, I think it can give you the station name or whatever. So it does have the RDS function, which is kind of cool. And for people that like that, it's very cool. I tell you what, this is an absolute dandy radio, and I'm sure there's a whole bunch of stuff that I've left out of it, that I've forgotten and or glossed over, because you're trying to keep everything. We're way over 30 minutes already, and you try to keep it a manageable length, but sometimes these radios you can't. There's just too much stuff to go over. Fantastic radio. Like I said, no single sideband, no air band, and you know, some people just get all flipped out about it, and that's just the way it is. In its price range, it's got a lot of stuff, and the audio is amazing on this thing. Negatives, I can't think of too many negatives. Wow, I haven't had it long enough to find any negatives, really. I think it's a very, very, very neat radio. And I think at that price, $79.95, I think, or $79.99, I guess it is. Probably ought to jump on one if you want one. It would be worth the extra $20, $99.99. That's for sure. And you got a little battery meter there. Tells you, I don't know. I'm really not going to waste D batteries just to see how long the batteries last. That not high on my list to do, but it does have the battery meter there just in case. And I don't know, I can't think of anything else. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, share it with everybody. You never know, somebody in your circle shareability might like radios or might be interested in something that you don't even know about. So share it. There is also a link down in the bottom of the description page thing there. That's a link to PayPal where you can donate to the channel. It's the only source of income I have for the channel. I don't have an Amazon affiliate. I don't monetize the videos. I'm not a fan of commercials inside my videos. I don't. Whatever. But I'm not a fan of it anyway. And so the only source of income I have is PayPal, a link down there that you can donate to the channel, and that income goes to buy more radios like this and to bring content to the channel. And it's not my only source of income. That didn't sound right. My only source of income for the channel. That's what I meant to say. Anyway, trying to think if there's anything else out there that I have forgotten. What a great, great radio. And make sure you leave your comments below if you own one. What do you think of the Grundig Edition, Eton FIELD BT, whatever it is? And if you like it, hate it, whatever. The display might be a little bit, a little wonky if you're outside all the time. Might be one of the negatives, is that display is just, it's okay. Cough button. I knew I'd cough before this was all over. And, but inside the display is just gorgeous. I mean, it's a fantastic radio. I love the big radios, and I love the clunk and the clicks and the knobs and all that. The other negative might be the tightness of the wheel. I wonder, as it gets colder outside, if that wheel wouldn't stiffen up even more. That could really be kind of yuck. But there are other ways around. With QuickTune and the buttons down here, you can get around all that. So who cares? Anyway, that's all I got. Hope you have a great day, and we'll see you at the next review.